Hi guys, Redneck Computer Geek here. This is kind of a cross between a how-to and a what I did in order to put bearings into the front of the MTD Power Wheel. Now, this video is based on an MTD chassis. If you're using a Craftsman, you're going to need to find bearings that are 3/4 of an inch on the inside rather than 5/8 like they are on an MTD. Basically, this video takes one of these Xtracs you can buy off surpluscenter.com. I'll put a link down in the description. And it turns it into these, which are amazing. And we really enjoyed running them, and we're going to keep doing it. Thanks, guys, and have fun.
Alright, so the basic idea here is that we have our 1 1/4 inch pipe, and we've cut it down to just a little bit under an inch. And we've ground down this edge here so that we can start to fit. And then we're going to cut this off because we have to make room for the bearing. Because otherwise, if we put the bearing on, the bearing just pops out the top, like so. So, as you can see. So we're going to cut this off down to here, and then drive that down on, and then the bearing should sit, and we'll measure out and cut the other side. So what I've managed to discover at this point is if you take the 1 1/4 cast iron pipe and you cut it off at 3/4 of an inch, with this ground all the way down to about 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 inch above the weld, and then you go around this and you grind this weld here down just a little bit. This now sits over it, and then your bearing sits just barely in the top, and we should be the right width. So 3/4 inch on either side. Remember, this is for an MTD axle. The play from bearing edge to bearing edge in an MTD front axle is 2.5 inches. So if you're doing this for another lawn tractor or other application, you're going to have to measure accordingly.
Alright, so I'm about to get to the point of welding these on, but the real reality is I really should take this tire off of the rim, and I really should weld these without the tire on. But unfortunately, it's about $10 to have the tire taken off, another $10 to have the tire put on, and I've got 2 of them to do. So, just to be cautionary, I'm going to take the valve stem out of this, and then that way, if it heats, the heat can come out through where the valve stem was. There we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tack and then tack it again. I'm going to weld across and weld across. I'm going to give it a good 15 minutes to cool, and then I'm going to weld across and weld across. That way, if the rim does start to heat, I should be able to actually feel it as I'm welding and check it on a regular basis, and we should be okay. Now, the one extra step I'm going to add in at this point is once I tack weld the other side, I'm going to go test fit these again, and then I'm going to come back and get this done.
All right.